Hey everybody, it's Kathleen and Judie, and we have another video today.
Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be answering the question that people have asked me over and over as I have been losing weight, which is, how did you do it? What have you eaten? And I really kind of hope that the video is not going to be a total disappointment, but it's not really anything exciting. As Kathleen said, it's just kind of basic math. Before we get into that, I want to talk a little bit about diet because God is concerned about what we put into our bodies. He created our bodies, He gave us our bodies, and He made food that's good for our bodies. In Daniel, around chapter 1, verse 8, Daniel has been taken captive in Babylon with some friends, and the king is wanting to feed them all of this rich food from the king's table, which you would think most people would jump at because it's the fancy food, yep. But it was food that had a lot of fat in it, and it was food that was very rich. And so in verse 8 it says that Daniel resolved that he was not going to defile himself with the king's food that was not good for his body, food that had been sacrificed to idols, or with the wine that he drank. Therefore he asked the chief of the eunuchs to allow him not to defile himself. And God gave Daniel favor and compassion in the sight of the chief of the eunuchs. And it goes on to say then in verse 12, test your servant for 10 days. Let us be given vegetables to eat and water to drink. And then let our appearance and the appearance of the youths who eat the king's food be observed by you, and deal with your servants according to what you see. So at the end of 10 days, it was seen that they were better in appearance and fatter in flesh than the youths who ate the king's food. I don't know if I want to be fatter in flesh.
It means fitter. They were fitter.
They were fitter. So the steward took away the wine and the food from all of the other guys and gave them what Daniel and his friends had been eating. So here we kind of have that first example of, I guess, what we would call clean eating.
Mm-hmm. Whole foods and water.
Whole food and water, vegetables and water. And that's pretty much the extent of what I wanted to say as far as what Scripture has to say about food today, other than to just bring out that we don't, Daniel was eating not only for himself, he was eating for those around him, and he was eating to glorify God. He didn't want to defile himself. God had given him rules that he was supposed to eat by, and he didn't want to dishonor God by eating things that he shouldn't be eating. So,
it was honoring God with his body, as his body is a temple.
Yes. So perfect example of honoring God, not defiling himself, and it says that God gave him favor and compassion because he did that. As far as what I've been doing for the last year, it's not real exciting.
It's consistency, though.
It's consistency. So I essentially have been doing calories in versus calories out. I use my Fitbit app on my phone. I log all of my food. I keep track of how many calories I've had in. And then my Fitbit kind of sort of calculates how many calories I've put out. It's not 100% accurate. This is not, rocket science. Right. But as you said, it's simple math. And
you have to create a deficit if you're wanting to lose weight. And if you want to maintain, then you need to be at 0.
So just a reminder, Kathleen and I are not doctors.
Nope.
We are not dietitians.
Nope.
We are not really experts in any way. We've just done our research and we've put it into practice. So what worked for me may not work for you. There's lots of good diets out there. But just remember that you have to create that deficit. You need a good balanced diet because you don't want to deprive yourself and create some sort of deficiency within your body because you're depriving yourself of one specific area of food.
And consult your doctor or a nutritionist if you have any concerns or questions.
Yeah, especially if you have any kind of health problems, like if you're diabetic. You don't want to just jump into a diet program that may affect your blood sugar and how your medication acts. Always check with your doctor before starting any kind of diet or exercise program. So that's our little disclaimer, and we're going to get into some tips now for how to kind of maintain a diet. You've chosen an eating plan, you've chosen a plan that you think is going to work for you, whether it's paleo, whether it's low carb, whether it's just counting calories, regardless of what it is, you've chosen your plan, you've talked to your doctor about it, you've gotten his stamp of approval, and now you have to figure out how you're going to maintain that. Here's a few steps to kind of get you going and keep you going.
And just a reminder, the biggest factor is consistency, day in and day out, even if you don't feel like it, doing it anyways. But the first one is exactly that. It's not a diet, it's a lifestyle. It is a holistic lifestyle change where you change what you eat, what you drink, your activity, really kind of your outlook, especially as you focus more on honoring God with your entire being.
And, I think that's huge because we kind of joked about it in the video last week, but really it's true. Someone asked me what's different about this time from previous times when I've dieted, and I think that's a huge part of it. It's just my outlook and looking at why I'm doing it. And when we think of diet, we think of everything we can't have.
Yeah, we think, oh my gosh, I can't ever eat brownies again. I can't have ice cream. I can't go to my kid's pizza party because there's going to be pizza. That's not what this is. This is not restrictive. This is making holistic good choices so that on occasion maybe you can have a small piece of pizza or a little brownie.
Right. And just so you know, throughout the course of this past year, I have eaten pizza, I've eaten hamburgers, I've eaten brownies, I have ice cream in my freezer, and a lot of it has to do with moderation and deciding that this is going to be a lifestyle and I have to learn how to eat within those parameters rather than just cutting everything out for a period of time and then going back to my old way of eating because then I'm going to be right back where I started from.
Exactly.
Okay. The second tip that we have for you is shop the perimeter of the grocery store. When you go into the grocery store, what you will notice with most supermarkets is that as you go around the edge of the store, you're going to find your produce, you're going to find your fresh meat, you're going to find eggs and cheese and all of your refrigerated section, milk, that kind of thing. And so you're going to find all of your fresh food. When you start going up and down the aisles is when you're going to find all of the processed foods, stuff in cans, stuff in boxes. All of that kind of thing. You're going to find ingredients on the ingredient list that you can't pronounce. I don't eat 100% clean, but I do try to choose organic options. I do try to choose more fresher foods than I used to. And if you look at the ingredient list on a box, what you want to find is the shortest list possible with the fewest ingredients.
And that you can pronounce the ingredients.
And that you can pronounce everything that's on there. If you can't pronounce it, if you don't know what it is, then you probably don't want it in your body. So that would be the second thing, is shop the perimeter of the grocery store because that's where you're going to find your freshest food.
And the next thing is so simple. It's don't eat less, eat better. Because you might actually end up depriving yourself and putting yourself in starvation mode if you just cut out a bunch of calories when you could just make better food choices.
Right.
It's very simple.
The next thing is don't skip breakfast. And I'm going to tell you, it's kind of interesting that I ended up talking about this one because I'm really bad about skipping breakfast. I'll admit it. But I'm trying to do better about that this week. But people who, this is a science thing. This is not just me talking. And it's been shown in studies that people who eat breakfast actually tend to consume fewer calories throughout the rest of the day. It gives a kickstart to your metabolism. It causes you to feel less hungry for the rest of the day. You have more energy. It's really true that breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
It really is. And if you think about it, okay, you got up, you slept for hopefully 8 hours, maybe not, but your body is depleted. It's deprived. It's thirsty. It's hungry. And how are you supposed to get on with your day and focus and have a good attitude and have lots of energy if you don't fuel it? So the next one is don't deprive yourself. When you say no carbs, suddenly you want everything that's a carb, whether it's good for you or not. Or if you decide you're going to do all low fat, then suddenly everything you want is fat. And there are good fats, but the main thing is don't deprive yourself. On occasion, allow one little indulgence, like if you really wanted that donut on Sunday, then make the allowance for it so that you have a donut with your coffee, but then the rest of the day you make better food choices. Or if you want a little brownie, seriously, like a small brownie, not, a giant pan.
And in that, you can kind of choose the healthier options. So like if you really want carbs and you're going to keep carbs in your diet, maybe try a sprouted grain bread instead of white bread.
Yep.
Try brown rice instead of white rice. Try sweet potatoes instead of white potatoes, because all of those things have more nutrients, they have more fiber, and they're going to do you a better service than just ingesting carbs that are going to turn to sugar in your system.
Or if you do need white potatoes, don't slather them with butter and sour cream. They're actually healthy for you. You eat them, as potatoes.
And eat the skin.
Yes,
the skin
is really good for you.
Okay, the next thing is write down what you eat. If you don't want to write it down in your food journal, then chances are you probably shouldn't be eating it.
Probably not.
Write it down.
If you're being held accountable by someone who's going to yell at you for eating it later.
Yes, that someone like Kathleen that annoys you every day. And when you write down everything you eat, along with that kind of goes with planning and preparation. We really didn't have that as one of our steps, but that is a huge tip. Plan ahead, plan your meals, know what you're going to eat that day. I'm not real good with food prep and prepping food ahead, but at least if I know what my meal is going to be that day and what I need to fix, then I can kind of plan that way.
Right. Or if you know you have, say, an event that you're going to and you know the dinner is going to be super rich, then you can kind of tone it down for breakfast and lunch and your snack so that you're not depriving yourself and that you can enjoy your meal later.
Right. So you can work those donuts and brownies and that kind of stuff in on occasion.
Yes.
So that you're not feeling deprived. So see, all of this stuff kind of works together. And this is what creates that lifestyle plan as opposed to a diet, because we don't want a diet, we want a lifestyle. And the last thing that I have is to drink a lot of water.
Yes.
Because a lot of times when you think you're hungry, you're really thirsty. And your body is 80% water. It needs a lot of water. It doesn't function well without water. It needs the lubrication. Your joints need that lubrication. You just need water. Our bodies need water. It's great for your skin. You need to drink a lot of water. You'll feel fuller. If you drink a glass of water before you eat a meal, then you will tend to not eat as much because you have water in your stomach.
Right.
And it just kind of keeps everything moving along better so that it doesn't sit there and generate weight gain, bloating, all of that sort of thing. So it just, water. You need water. Drink lots of water.
And if you don't like the taste of water, then cut up some strawberries or some cucumbers and stick them in your water. Adds a little bit of flavor. Or I like oranges. Those are really good in your water. Kind of mixes up, very few calories, and you're still putting something that's good for you in your water.
Yeah. Do not use flavored water, sugar-free drink mixes.
No, those are bad for you.
They contain a lot of citric acid, which will deplete magnesium and calcium from your bones, number one, and they usually contain aspartame, which is very, very bad for you. So I really don't want to call out like names, but you know what I'm talking about, the things that come in the little stick that you can rip the end off, pour it in your water, shake it up. Not the supplements, the actual drink water flavoring mixes. So yes, those are not good. Don't use those, but flavor your water with fruit. Lemons, you can put lemons and
lemons, limes,
a little stevia, something like that in your water. It's almost like drinking lemonade. And lemon is a natural diuretic, so it also kind of helps keep things moving along as well.
And along with that, always incorporate some kind of physical activity, because you're losing all this weight. You need to speed up your metabolism, and you don't want like a bunch of flabby stuff, so you want to exercise and work out and feel better on top of that.
Yeah.
And drinking water also will help you feel better. You'll notice if you drop the diet anything or just regular soda, coffee, whatever, you will feel much better by drinking water.
Yes. All right, that's pretty much all that we have for you today. If you have any questions or comments, you can put them in the comments section below. We want you to subscribe and like the video on YouTube. So please subscribe to our channel, like the video, and we want you to like and share it on Facebook or other social media so that we can kind of get the word out. So along with that, we've got a little incentive for you today. This week's video, there's going to be the opportunity for a giveaway. So we have for you this really pretty little,
isn't that pretty?
Pioneer Woman measuring cup, and it's got the measurements on the inside, really super cute pattern on the outside. We've got a set of Pioneer Woman measuring spoons for you.
Lovely.
And we have a digital scale, because one of the things that we really didn't talk about was portion control.
But we will talk about that at a future date.
But we will talk about portion control. And one of the things that I do consistently is measure and weigh my food. So if you subscribe to the YouTube channel and you like this video, I want you to put in the comments below, after you've done that, why it is that you think you should have the digital scale and the measuring items so that you can be successful on your weight loss journey.
That's right.
Okay. Now, the other thing is, one of the resources that I have really used a lot is this book by Dr. Ben Lerner called Body by God, which is a great resource. I don't follow everything exactly the way he says, but it is a tremendous wealth of information that is in this book on how God created our bodies and the best way to refuel them with food by God instead of food by man, as he calls it. So if you like our Facebook page and you will share this video, we will enter you into a giveaway for the Body by God book by Dr. Ben Lerner. So YouTube, I'll put all of the instructions for the giveaway in the description box below. I will also add links there if you want to order any of these items yourself. But like and share, and we will enter you in the giveaway for the Body by God book. Like and comment and subscribe on YouTube, and we will enter you in the giveaway for the Pioneer Woman products and the digital scale. All right, and that's pretty much it for today. We'll have another, maybe we'll do a video coming up soon where we'll do like a little cooking demonstration, talk about meal prep.
We can show how to use a scale to weigh out items, because I think some people are a little overwhelmed by the thought of, oh my gosh, I'm going to stick a cup on here and I'm going to weigh all this stuff out. But it really does make portion control so much easier.
Right. And you would be amazed when you try to guesstimate how inaccurate you are.
Yes. Sometimes most of the time you're way underestimating.
Right. So that will be coming in a future video, but for now, that's it. And we will see you in the next video. So like us and give us a thumbs up.
Bye. Have
See
a
you
good
later.
day.